That's a bloody good question. Do you know, I haven't really thought about that. It's a fantastic question.
Yes, people, it's TWG, the TheGymGooner, and I'm joined today by Craig from the Same Old Arsenal podcast. Craig, it's an absolute delight to have you on, mate.
Thank you very much for having me, mate. An honour to be asked. I like it when I get asked to come on these kind of things, because gives me a chance to get my point of view across. Because as a lot of people know, I'm usually the host of a lot of things. So yeah, it's good. It's good to come on as a guest. So thanks for having me.
So much has happened in the world of Arsenal, in the world of football, really. I'm not really going to touch too much on the European Super League situation, because as of now, obviously they're saying it's on standby, but for us fans and everyone else, really, it's near enough dead and buried. Well, would hope so anyway.
We hope so.
I'm going to start from an Arsenal standpoint. First and foremost, will Stan sell?
Will Stan sell? This is the question, that everyone's been asking all day. Stan Kroenke didn't get to where he is from not doing deals and not being a shrewd businessman. When he bought Arsenal, it cost him a cool. Reports say that it cost him a cool $1 billion. Perhaps if Daniel Ek, I think, is the fellow that's going to come in with an offer. The owner of Spotify, of course. Look, if he's just got to come in with the right money. Stan's not stupid. Josh is not stupid. They're not going to turn down a big offer. But I think that's what it's going to take. It's going to take a big offer to get them to actually sell. But us as fans, they're on the ropes now. And us as fans, we've got to keep up what we've been doing. We've got to keep the protests going. We've got to keep the Kroenke out going on Twitter. We've got to stay united because they are on the ropes. And their resolve is being tested.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's going to be very interesting. I mean, this is not going to happen overnight. I think a lot of Arsenal fans are expecting it to happen tomorrow. The money comes in and Stan says, "Oh, go on then." So it doesn't happen that quickly. This could be months down the line. This could go into next season. It could go on for another year. Who knows? But as long as we do our jobs as fans by keep putting the pressure on and keep up with the unity that we've seen over the past couple of weeks, it's been great to see everyone united in a fan base that's normally split right down the middle regarding something. Whether it was Arsene Wenger or wherever it was, if it was because someone wore their shirt outside their shorts or, that kind of thing. It's good to see a united fan base. So, yeah, it's going to be really interesting. I watched the interview with Daniel Ek, and he seems mad up for it. I mean, his personal fortune, they reckon he's worth about $3 to $4 billion.
Right.
But the millions of pounds that he has, the millions of pounds involved in Spotify that he can take whenever he likes.
Yeah.
There's hundreds of million pounds. And he says that he's got the funds. He's got the funds. He's got them. The only thing to do now is to draw up a plan and present it to the Kroenkes, and we go from there.
That's it, 100% in terms of what you said. I totally agree. Us as fans, like you said, the protests, but more than anything, the social media presence and the unity that's been shown. Normally, like you said, there's such a divide with Arsenal fans, supporters on Twitter, whether it's in regards to a player, a manager, a formation, it could be anything. But yeah, no, it's amazing to see so many fans unite. And literally, I don't think I've come across a fan yet who said Kroenke in, essentially. So it literally is Kroenke out all the way. Reports yesterday with that Stan himself is saying that the club is not for sale. Do you think that's just wool over our eyes and obviously to raise the price?
Yeah, I do. It's like, why do you need to come out and tell us that the club's not for sale? If you've got a car on your driveway, do you text all your mates to say, "Oh, do you like my new car? But by the way, it's not for sale." I don't need to know that it's not for sale. Do you know? It's only for sale if you tell me it's for sale. That's it's a tactic for me. Stan Kroenke, I mean, straight away, him coming out and saying the club's not for sale means to tell me that it is up for sale. Because if you like I said, if it's not for sale, you don't need to tell anyone.
Exactly. So on Daniel Ek then, is he the right man to take us back to the top?
This is the question, mate, isn't it? Are we jumping out the frying pan into the fire? We're going from one billionaire to another billionaire.
I mean, what would you say is in it for him? What's in it for Daniel Ek?
Well, yeah, but
the profile of Spotify.
I like the way he talks. I like, I mean, he's an Arsenal fan. He says he supported Arsenal since he was 8 years old. He's been to Highbury. He's been to the Emirates. He tells us that he watches streams on his computer while he's in Spotify meetings watching the games. How much of that is true, we don't know, because this man has just come out of the blue completely. Is he the right man? Look, we've wanted someone to own Arsenal for a long time that has at least got a link to the club somewhere.
Yeah.
Now, if he's coming out and telling us that he's an Arsenal supporter and he's been watching us since he was 8 and we're his team, then on that side, it's great to have someone in who will know what it's like to be a fan of the club and who will know what we've been going through. But then again, is he the right man? Who knows? Are we jumping out of that frying pan into a fire with another billionaire who's just going to use the club as an asset to gain more money personally for Spotify? Who knows if it's going to be a good thing? But all I'll say on that is I'd rather have him in there than Stan Kroenke.
Simple as that for me as well. I totally. There's no communication and no connection with the fans.
Yeah.
And the fact that Daniel Ek is coming straight in and saying that he's obviously been supporting Arsenal, that in itself, you just have that connection straight away. Straight away.
Do and that's, I think that's why a lot of Arsenal fans have taken to him straight away, like I have.
Yeah.
I'm normally a pretty good judge of character. So, look, I think his intentions are real, and I think his intentions are true. When this comes out, you can see people on Twitter saying we're saved, this, that, and the other. Just calm down a small bit.
Yeah.
Just let things, take its time. Let things go through the process. Go through the motions, and see how we go.
Absolutely. So, with obviously him coming in, there's this talk of a consortium. Patrick Vieira, Dennis Bergkamp, and obviously the king himself, Thierry Henry. What roles will they have? Will one of them, because all three of them have had some sort of managerial role, do you think any of them are coming in to take Arteta out?
No, I wouldn't have. No, I don't think so. I don't think so. That's a bloody good question. I haven't really thought about that. It's a fantastic question. No, I can't see. No. Thierry Henry is a class man. Patrick Vieira, Dennis Bergkamp, they're all class men. I can't see Arsenal legends going in after someone's job. No, I couldn't see that happening. But it does worry me a little bit that we hear the names Thierry Henry, Dennis Bergkamp and Patrick Vieira coming in as a consortium because, like you just rightly pointed out, they are invincibles, they're legends, and they've also managed. Now, if they come into Arsenal as part of a consortium, that's their managerial careers over and their coaches' roles over because they can't. You can't have a major share in a football club and go down the road and become manager of West Ham or go down the road and become manager of Watford. There's a conflict of interest there.
Moving on from this takeover talk, let's talk Arteta.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you stand with Arteta? Is Arteta the right man? Are you in or out, or are you not bothered in that argument? Are you just a supporter of any?
No. Well, yeah. I mean, look. I'm a supporter of Mikel Arteta, but then I'm a supporter of the club as well. And if it means that if the people who are running the club think that Mikel Arteta is not the man for the club and they will let him go, then I back that. I back that decision. But myself personally, I mean, I was fuming after the Everton game, absolutely fuming. And all kinds of stuff, all kinds of thoughts were going through my head. And I was saying to myself, that's it. He's got to go. What I've seen tonight, is a disgrace. And it was a disgrace, a disgraceful performance. We had 5,000 to 6,000 people outside the stadium protesting against the Cronkies. The players would have seen that. The management would have seen that. I mean, they should have taken that onto the pitch and used that to show the fans, look, we care. We care that you're outside doing this. We care that you've all come together to do this. And then we have to sit there and watch that performance.
100% agree with you. They should have used that as fuel. They should have used that as motivation to show the fans that, yeah, okay, you're doing your part outside, we're doing our part inside and on the pitch. And so let's go on to the Arsenal squad. What do Arsenal need? And what do Arsenal need to get rid of? Or who do Arsenal need to get rid of?
Well, I think I've read reports in the paper today that they're trying to get, they're going to have another clear out at the end of the season. We saw a clear out in January. The Mesut Ozils, the Mustafis, now I know Klosniak's on loan, but he'll go as well. I know we're still paying Mesut Ozil's wages. So that will come off the wage, that comes off the wage bill at the end of the season. That frees up more cash. I think they're looking to raise approximately £125 million from player sales before we even talk about Kroenke giving us money. Now, my only worry about that is if that we do raise 125 million, that the Kroenkes will sit back and go, well, what do you want? What do you want backing from us for? You've got 125 million pound there.
Yeah.
So that worries me a little bit. But then again, like I said, there's always a flip side. We can improve the team with that 125 million. There's room to improve the team with 125 million. For me, we need a new goalkeeper. We need a new right back. I'm not too worried about the centre halves position at the moment. I'm not too sure if David Luiz will sign a new contract. I don't think so. With Callum Chambers, Rob Holding, Gabriel. We've got Mavropanos to come back. We've got William Saliba to come back. We're overloaded in the centre half positions. Perhaps we'll see some of them go. Perhaps I don't like to say it, but he's played really well in the last few games, and that's Callum Chambers. I don't think he'll survive. I think he'll be either let off on loan or sold. That leaves us then with Gabriel, Saliba, Holding, Luiz. Mari, of course, Pablo Mari as well, who's been really good. I love Pablo Mari. I absolutely love him. £6 million was it? He cost. I mean, he's a bargain, and that's what I mean. That's what I mean by saying we can improve the squad with the £125 million.
Yeah.
I'm not looking for big marquee signings. I'm not looking for big 150 million pound players, £100 million pound player. I'm after 5 or 6 players that cost around 20 to 30 million that improve us. And there's players out there that will cost that money that will improve us.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping, that Arteta feels that way as well, and that they tell us that they've already seen 6 players that they want to bring in. Whether we believe that or not is another thing. We'll see in the summer.
If you could pick 6 players, who would that be coming in for you?
I probably couldn't name you 6 off the top of my head, but you've got Basuma from Brighton. He comes in, improves the team straight away. You've got the lad from Norwich. Is it Max Aarons? He comes in at right back, improves the team straight away. Edouard from Celtic, £25 million. He comes in, replaces Lacazette straight away.
Yeah.
So they just by them 3 names. I mean, that's not a lot of money. What with Max Aarons? I mean, Max Aarons will cost you 30 to 40 million pounds. Basuma might cost you 30 to 40 million pounds. Edouard looks like he might cost 25 million pound from Celtic. So you've upgraded 3 positions there straight away.
Do you think so far he's been backed?
No.
Because you have to consider Partey cost 50 mil. Well, was it 45 mil?
45 million, yeah.
45.
That's the only player they've backed him. Does one player make? Let's be honest. I get what you're saying. They backed him. They said, yeah, there you go. There's your 45 million. We were lucky to get him for 45 million because he had a 45 million. He had a 45 million pound buyout clause. If Partey didn't have a 45 million pound buyout clause, you're looking 60, 70 million for him easy. Yeah. Easy. We could sell him now for 60, 70 million. Someone will pay 60, 70 million for him as well. I don't think we're going to see the best of Thomas Partey until next year, until Arteta can find a partner for him. You look at the last few games, he's been in the middle with Ceballos. And Ceballos is the one that's been pushing forward, and Thomas Partey is the one that's been staying back and defending. And then when he gets the ball and he gets the chance to go forward, he'll go forward. And we've seen the best of him. People give Arteta a hard time. They're having a go at him for extending Granit Xhaka's contract. I think they extended his I think he extended his contract because he realised that Willock, Maitland-Niles, those two players weren't up to it for him. So he has to try and keep Granit Xhaka here and happy, because he realises that Granit Xhaka in the central midfield role is all, you know, is all that he had really.
Stand with Joe Willock. What's your thoughts going forward? Obviously, at the moment he's hit banging form with Newcastle. I think I read he's won Newcastle 8 points this season.
Now,
is he someone who you would look to perhaps cash in on? Obviously, based on the fact that he's done really well on his loan, or do you think more so? Is he better than what we've got at the club? Is he better than El Neni? Is he better than other players that are on loan, for example, Torreira?
Joe Willock's a tough one. I've been really impressed with him while he's been on loan at Newcastle. And like you say, he's won Newcastle some points and he's been scoring some goals. And it's exactly what we've been missing, is a central midfield goal scorer. Yeah. We've hardly any goals come from midfield anymore. But when you sit back and you say to yourself, is he good enough? Then no, he's probably not. You're going to have to try and cash in. And you, like I said at the start, they're trying to make as much money as they can so they can bring in the better players. Then unfortunately, the players like El Neni, the players like Torreira, the players like Willock, Maitland-Niles, unfortunately, for me, in my opinion, it looks like their Arsenal careers might be up.
Alexandre Lacazette.
I love Lacazette. I love him. I love him.
That'll be interesting then. So for me, at the end of this season, this season should be his last season. The reason why that is because I'm hugely disappointed in Lacazette. From when we signed him from Lyon, I thought this is it. We are going to be back to the top because we have a goal machine. And it's so sad to see how he has not lived up to that in the slightest. The fact that he's been here for 4.5 seasons and he's only just got past 50 goals is quite embarrassing, to be honest. You've got players in other teams who have been there for a shorter time and scored more goals. And I know they play in different systems, they've had different players around them. But as an out-and-out goal scorer, for which we bought him as, to only hit that milestone. I mean, I'm not really focused on milestones. Yeah, he gives us all for his team, but that in itself, I don't agree with a lot of people that say, yeah, but he works his socks off. He's the most hardworking player in the team. You should be that anyway. Every player in the team should work to be the hardest worker in the team. If he did his job, which is to score goals, a lot of the time we wouldn't be in the problems that we're in. For me, it's the fact that we've been ever so reliant on Aubameyang is the fact that that's the reason for me personally that I believe Aubameyang's form itself has dipped because so much pressure is on him. He is our main man. He is our talisman. He's a captain. And if anybody's going to change the game in terms of score a goal, we're all thinking Aubameyang. Apart from this season, obviously, which he's been way off. It's just not been Aubameyang. So with Lacazette, I feel like I'm really happy and for the team, for Arsenal, the football club, that he's in form this season. Because if he hadn't been in form this season, God knows where we'd be. But I feel like, I'd really appreciate if he was able to take us to the final, even win it. But I feel like for us to progress as a club, it has to be the end of Lacazette, and we need to let the young guns in, i.e. Martinelli and Balogun, take up his minutes, whether it's shared halfway, or, like you said, bring in Edouard from Celtic and let him have a go at it. Because it hasn't happened for him. It's as simple as that. For me, personally, he's just not good enough.
You bring a great argument, mate, and a fantastic argument. You got your facts right. I like Lacazette, and I'll probably make you mad for what I'm going to say, but I like Lacazette for his work rate. Lacazette's work rate is exactly what you want out of a striker. Aubameyang doesn't give you that. Aubameyang gives you different things. Aubameyang, give Aubameyang the ball in the box and give him half a chance, he'll score. Aubameyang doesn't bring the work rate for me. I think Aubameyang is a very lazy player, although I rate him. But then I look at it a different way as well. if you're going to have young players like Nikita and Balogun, then you've got to have a player around the place who is going to guide these young boys, these young players.
Yeah.
We've already heard about how influential he is in the dressing room. We've already heard about how influential he is on the pitch. And to be honest with you, in the last few games, we've seen how much those young players think of him. He's been outstanding. Perhaps it's just unfortunate that they found a system for Lacazette at the wrong time. I don't know. I'd rather keep him around. I wouldn't sell him to another Premier League club anyway. If he was going to go, I'd sell him. He'd have to go back abroad. I wouldn't let him go to another Premier League club.
I don't think any other Premier League club wants him to be.
No.
Yeah, absolutely. He's had a great season, and like you said, maybe it's unfortunate that they've only just found a system for him to fit into and show his potential or show his actual game. The only argument with that would be he's playing in that system / Arteta's having to play that system based on the players he has available to him at this moment in time.
Another good point, yeah.
I feel like Arteta is he must have learned from Pep, surely. So he knows how to play an attacking game. Obviously, at this moment in time, Arsenal can't play any other way apart from to have Lacazette holding up the ball and have Saka and Smith Rowe and anybody else who can run beyond him to try and score the goals. Hence why he doesn't score as many, although, like I said, this season he has. So I feel like if we come to the summer and we're able to get so many better players who are gonna get goals from midfield, I don't see the need for Lacazette.
Fair enough, mate. Fair enough. I mean, I just sat here and told you that we need upgrading. Is Edouard an upgrade on Lacazette? He probably is. So, I'm kind of contradicting myself. So perhaps I'm being too sentimental. Perhaps I am. Perhaps I'm being too sentimental. And it's time to stop being sentimental, I suppose, and want what's best. And like I said at the start, if that's what's best, then I'll go along with it.
Let's move on to tomorrow night. Do you rate Unai Emery?
Yes, massively. Yeah, I think he was forced out too early. Did I contribute to him being forced out a bit early? Probably did. But that's just fan. The grass wasn't always greener. Is what I'm trying to say. Perhaps at the time I was thinking to myself, I've got to get him out because there's got to be someone else better out there. But the grass wasn't greener, was it? He missed the Champions League by a point. Was that his fault? Perhaps it was his fault with the team that he put out or with the teams that he put out. But at the end of the day, he's put the trust in those players that he's picked, and they haven't rewarded him with that trust. And it's the same as Mikel Arteta as well. Mikel Arteta has put a lot of trust in players, making the same mistakes for me that Arsene Wenger did. Put too much faith in average players, and you saw what happened. I won't dislike Unai Emery. I won't dislike him. I don't know whether it was the players dropped. Did the players drop the tools and didn't want to play for him because that final in Baku was a disgrace? Can you blame the manager for that? He's got to take some of the share, I suppose. But the players threw him under a massive bus that night.
Yeah.
And got their wish. They got him sacked. Is he going to be looking for revenge tomorrow? I don't think so. I think the man's got a touch of class about him. I think he's a very good coach. He's proved that over the years. Won the Europa League 3 years on the trot. He's not really a manager I want to be coming up against in the semi-final. Is Mikel Arteta playing games? He's telling us today that Lacazette, Aubameyang, Tierney are all in contention. Is he playing games? So he's keeping Unai Emery guessing right up to kick-off. Yeah. So Unai Emery can't get his tactics. He can't say that. Go on.
No, sorry. I was just going to say I'm glad that he's doing that.
Absolutely. Yeah. God, yeah.
From an Arsenal manager, a bit of a not even a tit for tat. It's just a bit of a mind game from an Arsenal manager. Is something that we've not had for a while. Emery himself didn't really do the whole mind game thing.
Yeah.
Wenger used to do it to an extent, but again, Wenger was just a whole different class. He didn't really need to do it. He did most of his talking on the pitch. Let's just talk about the boost that we've had, like you just mentioned, the fact that Kieran Tierney, Aubameyang, and Lacazette are back in contention.
Yeah.
How big is that?
Oh, massive! It's massive. We miss Kieran Tierney so much. We miss him bombing down that left. You know, we miss his crossing in. We miss his attacking play. We miss his threat going down that left. We've missed Aubameyang badly. Well, we've missed Aubameyang badly all season. It's important to get him back, but for me, if he does come back, Aubameyang's got to play down the middle, and that means that Lacazette will have to miss out after everything that he's done. I don't feel that he deserves to miss out. But if they are fit, then Aubameyang starts. You know, Kieran Tierney starts. Mikel Arteta has got a lot of thinking to do about what he's going to do, and as fans, we've just got to trust him.
100%. We've got to back the players, and we've got to back the manager himself. So touching on that, then you said Lacazette is going to have to miss out. Aubameyang comes in, and if Kieran Tierney is fit, then he should start. Let's go through let's do our starting 11 for tomorrow. The big question for me actually is it time to see Matt Ryan start over Leno? Leno, it's so...
I don't think so. No, I don't think so. I think people are very quick to forget that Bernd Leno has probably saved us more points than he's cost us. Yes, he's made a howling mistake against Everton. But it happens. Yeah, it happens in football. It's a howling mistake. You know, do you think that he doesn't care that he's made that mistake? Do you think that he's not gonna, you know, he's gone home after that game and just got into bed and went, well, you know, that's going to be on his mind. It's going to be on his mind. I'm pretty sure that it's going to be on his mind. I used to be a goalkeeper myself, and it's the most loneliest position on the pitch when you make a mistake.
Yeah.
Do you know, when you're a player and you make a mistake, you can run around, you can distract yourself that you've made a mistake. But when you're a goalkeeper, everyone looks at you. When you're standing in that box all on your own and you've made a howler. I don't think he deserves to be dropped. People might disagree with me, that's fine, but I don't think he deserves to be dropped. I think a lot of people are very quick to, you know, I mean, the first half of that game, he's pulled off a world-class save to stop us going from 1-0 down. You know, you can turn from hero to zero very quickly.
Correct.
Let's say, for example, I'm talking, you know, way far out, but let's say, for example, we found ourselves 2-1 up against Everton. We come back, we equalised, and we scored, and then Everton get a 93rd minute penalty, and he saves it. Yeah, he's a hero. We don't worry about the mistake anymore. It's just a reactionary thing. I don't believe he deserves to be dropped, but like I'm up for, you know, I'm up for anyone that says otherwise, and I respect that.
Okay, so let's go. We're going to stick with Leno. I was going to say, one way of looking at it could be, I mean, it might sound stupid, but it could be a blessing in disguise. The fact that he's made a mistake in a game against Everton, which, let's be honest, didn't really mean anything. The fact that he's made a mistake would, for me, like you said, if you make a mistake, you're going to be that more focused on the next game.
Yeah.
Make sure that you don't make any mistakes.
Exactly.
So it could be a blessing in disguise if he's on the start. And like you said, no, I agree. I'd still stick with Leno. He is our number one. Let's be honest. With the right back situation, you know, Callum Chambers, to be fair, has come in and done a very, very good job. I quite like the fact that he's a lot more physical than the other two. That being obviously Bellerin and Cedric. Who's your right back?
Yeah, it's a tough one because I know Villarreal have got some pretty nifty wingers. You would have to go with pace. You would have to put a bit of pace in there. Hector Bellerin would probably be my first choice. Cedric has got a bit of pace about him as well. I just think with Callum Chambers, he might get roasted a bit, but then you can say the same about the left back because it looks like Granit Xhaka is going to have to fill in that left back again. Yeah. And he's going to get roasted as well. So it's tough. What do you do? Do you go with Callum Chambers, who seems to be the more informed player, than Cedric or Bellerin, or do you go like for like and try and match up pace for pace?
I think if we're honest, Bellerin, since his last major injury, that bit of pace that he did have,
yeah, he's never been the same.
He's never been the same, and I think that has obviously exposed him. I have this conversation quite a bit about Bellerin. I used to love Bellerin. I used to absolutely love Bellerin, and I used to argue till my throat was dry to say, no, Bellerin is number one or number two in the Premier League to that extent. But the fact that he's lost that yard of pace on near enough any winger in the league has really exposed him. The fact that he could, it's a lot like for me is Aaron Wan-Bissaka.
Yeah,
he's amazing at one-on-ones, but he's got a mistake in him. But the fact that he has that speed in him to make up for that mistake, that's what makes him not look as bad and makes him still look a decent defender.
Absolutely.
So the fact that Bellerin has lost that bit of pace about him makes him for me, he's just bang average at the moment, and will be with the current team. Cedric, like you said, he's got that bit of pace about him. But from what I've seen, Callum Chambers is actually quite a good ball carrier from the right back position.
Yeah. I mean, he's been getting forward as well, hasn't he? I mean, he's been putting in some delightful balls.
Yeah, absolutely.
For people to get on the end of, but unfortunately, no one has. Well, I think Lacazette got on the end of one, didn't he, against West Ham? But to have, if Kieran Tierney is any way bit fit, to have Kieran Tierney and Callum Chambers bombing down the wings and getting the balls in, my fear for Callum Chambers is just that turn of pace. If we get caught in a counter attack, I wouldn't be too positive about Callum Chambers catching a pacey winger. So it's a tough one. Mikel Arteta really has got to get it right tomorrow. I think the best thing he can do, obviously we want to win the game, but I mean, they've got to be cautious going out there. Can't concede, conceding a goal first. If we concede the first goal, we've seen that we struggle if we concede the first goal. We get into trouble a lot. It always leads on to another one and another one. We saw it at West Ham. Although I'll give them the credit to come back. It's so important that we get a goal out there and try not to concede. I mean, I say try not to concede, but I mean, if we came back to the Emirates 1-1, 2-2, I'd be confident of getting to the final. Coming back to the Emirates without scoring an away goal and coming back with a 0 loss, I wouldn't be too confident.
No, 100%, absolutely. Middle of the park. We mentioned Ceballos earlier on, but just to mention Ceballos, was it yesterday or earlier today? Report saying himself that his game is more suited to La Liga or the Premier League. Is that a hint that he doesn't see his future here?
Absolutely. I think
he's
so.
Not giving his all. I mean, where do you?
I think that means he's going back to La Liga. I think when you come, it's a bit like Mesut Ozil. When Mesut Ozil struggled with the speed of the game here. If you watch Mesut Ozil's an assisting on YouTube, Mesut Ozil's got all the time in the world. Yeah. Every assist he makes to pick out a pass. I think that's why he struggled here. It's too physical for him. It was too quick for him, and he didn't like it when people knocked him off the ball, and he didn't like it when he had the time. I think there's a bit of that in Dani Ceballos' game as well. Sometimes he can be very slow to release the ball. Blows hot and cold. Can be magnificent one week. Can be absolute pits the next. He's so frustrating to watch. I like him. I really do like him. When he's good, he's good. But when he's poor, he's poor. But saying that, because of the left back situation and Granit Xhaka being at left back tomorrow, we're talking about Tierney, Laka, and Herber coming back. I think we'd be pretty naive to think that even if they were any bit fit, that they come straight back in. I don't think that's going to happen. It will be Ceballos and Partey in the middle tomorrow, for me.
Just touching on the defence then. So definitely Xhaka, you're going to go with Xhaka at the back?
Yeah, Xhaka left back. I have to choose now between the three of them. I'd probably I'd probably go with Callum Chambers, even though I'm worried about his turn of pace.
Yeah.
And in the middle, I'd go with Pablo Mari and Rob Holding.
Yeah, I like Murray a lot.
Yeah, I do.
I do like him. I don't understand why the bigger games he's, for whatever reason, left out.
Perhaps it's because perhaps that's because Mikel Arteta feels that he is his best centre half and he wants to protect him for the Europa League. That's the only way I'd look at it.
No, that's good. That's a good point, actually. So let's talk our forwards, our front three, if you want to call it that. Who's in the attack? For
me, it would be, if Aubameyang's fit, Aubameyang through the middle, but I don't think he will be. So it'll be Lacazette through the middle, Saka on the left wing, Pepe on the right wing, and I'd have Smith Rowe in just behind Lacazette and in front of Partey and Ceballos.
So Odegaard doesn't come back in the team?
In front of Smith Rowe? No. Not for me. I don't think you can play both. I don't think you can play both. I think you need that Dani Ceballos just in behind one of them, with Partey obviously just in that kind of shape in behind Ceballos, providing that defensive cover in front of the defence and giving Ceballos the freedom to get forward, to give the ball on to Smith Rowe or Odegaard. I mean, Odegaard's a good shout as well. Out injured, is he 100% fit? Again, Mikel Arteta, big decision to make.
With Aubameyang, I know you said if he's fit, he plays ahead of Lacazette. Is there not a shout for Martinelli? Yeah, I'd go Saka on the right. I'd still go Pepe on the left because I feel like so far what we've seen as Arsenal fans is the best of Pepe has come from the left.
Well, there's also a shout. There's also a shout to put Saka in at left back and put Martinelli on the left wing. You know, and let them two link up together. Saka's played left back for us before and done a bloody good job.
Absolutely.
But like I say, mate, Arteta's got some big decisions to make tomorrow. I mean, we can sit here till the cows come home and talk about who we think should be what here, there, and the other way. But if I was the manager, I would go. If Aubameyang is fit, if I was a manager, I'd go Saka on the left, Pepe on the right, Aubameyang down the middle. If I was the manager, the Martinelli thing, a lot of people are talking about Martinelli again. He's been getting minutes and he scored a goal, and I don't know what it is with Arteta. I don't know whether he's trying to save him for next season and really go ham on him, or does he rate him, or is he scared that he's going to get injured, or I'm not too sure. Martinelli, I think, will be a player that would make especially in this situation we find ourselves in, a European semi-final. Martinelli will be a great player to bring off the bench and make an impact off the bench, 60 minutes, 65 minutes.
Yeah,
I think that's what's in his head. A good impact player to bring off the bench, and a versatile one as well. Could go up front, can play on the left wing, can play on the right wing, depending on how things are going. So
I literally tweeted that earlier today.
Yeah,
and I said, well, actually, the question was in regards to Balogun.
Yeah,
someone said, do you think Balogun should now not get a start, but at least be on the bench and get some minutes?
Yeah,
I think with the whole signing of the new contract, the extension, and the long-term contract, the fact that obviously that shows that he's then going to be, an Arsenal player for a long time. I can't see why he definitely wouldn't be on the bench. And like you said, between Balogun and Martinelli, if Aubameyang's on the pitch and it hits 60, 70 minutes and it's still 0-0, more than anything, like you said, we need the away goal. So I would definitely throw one, if not both of them on. I
think we'll see both. I think we'll see both of them on the bench tomorrow. Like I say, I'll go back to the impact thing. That team that we've just named out there should be good enough to go out to Villarreal and get us a result.
What's your prediction for the first leg then?
Well, I'd hope that Arsenal will win, of course. I think it's very important that we come back to the Emirates with a win. I think it's very important. I think it's very important that we try and keep Villarreal. We try to stop them from scoring, getting a goal. If we can nick a 1-0, I'd be absolutely delighted. If we can come back to the Emirates at 1-1, 2-2, advantage Arsenal. But then saying that, our home form has been so bad. That would worry me as well. So looking at things, how you're totally getting how I look at things tonight. Look at what things go on in my brain. It's not as clear cut as, oh yeah, we go out there and we win 3-0. I look at it a bit differently. I take everything into consideration. They're not a bad side, Villarreal. They've got a good coach, and a lot of people forget that Emery knows a lot about the players that he's going to be up against tomorrow. So I'm confident, though. I'm confident we'll do the job. I'm confident that we'll do a job and we'll come back to the Emirates. We'll come back to the Emirates with a good result. I'm pretty sure of that. I am confident.
So what are you going for then? What's your prediction?
You put me on the spot. Let's go 1-0 Arsenal. 1-0. I'd be delighted with a 1-0. Do you know? I'd be delighted with a 1-0 that their player scores an own goal in the first 2 minutes, and then we put 9 players behind the ball and we bring them back to the Emirates at 1-0. I'll be absolutely delighted. Job done.
I'm with you. Like most things, like you said tonight, it's going to be a very squeaky bum game.
Oh yeah.
The second leg will be very, very squeaky if we don't score in Villarreal. So I'm going for a 2-1 win.
I like it. I like it.
To the Arsenal, and just get the job done in this game and just ride out the second game, because that's as best as we can do at the moment. That is a wrap. Craig, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on today.
Again, thank you for having me on, mate. Appreciate it.
Not a problem. If anyone hasn't already checked out Craig on YouTube, the Same Old Arsenal podcast, go over to the page, like, comment, subscribe, and please do the same on mine. And let's look forward to Arsenal hopefully winning on Thursday, winning on the following Thursday, and getting to a European final. Come on, Arsenal.
Fingers crossed.